Freaked out very, very badly. Freaked out on acid. I live for drugs. It's great.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Poor Man's Chemist. In this video, I am going to be showing you guys how to get a melting point on an organic compound in order to both confirm its identity and check its purity. This is something that is done a lot in organic chemistry, especially after you make a compound, or if you want, like in this case, you want to check a compound's purity before you go and use it for something. This is just a very quick and easy way of doing that. In this case, we are working with beta nitrostyrene. This is stuff that I checked the melting point on it yesterday. Should have a melting point, according to the textbook, between 57 and 58 degrees C, but mine was 53 degrees C. And it wasn't very hard to figure out what the impurity was. It was definitely benzaldehyde because I could smell it. So what I did was I recrystallized this shit from hot ethanol, and I did not spare on the ethanol, both during the recrystallization and in the rinsing. And what I've got now is a much purer product. Now the smell of benzaldehyde is completely gone from this stuff. Instead, it has a weird kind of almost acrid floral smell. It's very, very hard to describe. This stuff is an irritant though, so please don't go sniffing it. Now, what you see here is a melting point apparatus. You can get these things on eBay. I got mine. This is some kind of college surplus. Or it was ripped off. Who knows? I don't know. I just bought it on eBay, man, and didn't ask a lot of questions. But I got this for about 25 bucks. That was back in like 2018 or 2019. I think 2019. So, you know, in 2022 dollars, that's about 50, 60 bucks. But I would imagine, I mean, these things are still readily available on eBay. The way that this thing works is obviously you have your thermometer in here. You see you have a little lens here and a little dial here. The little dial controls the temperature. Let's move things up here so you guys can see it. There we go. So obviously it's powered on. The light is on so you can see down into the chamber there. What we are going to do is take some of our nitrostyrene and we are going to put it in a capillary tube. Now, the cheapest capillary tubes you're going to be able to get on the internet that I've seen are ones that are like these. They are just regular old capillary tubes. They are open at both ends. Obviously, we're going to be melting shit in them. You're going to want to seal it. If you weren't doing the quick and dirty version like I did, using a Bunsen burner on a windy day, you could easily get 2 tubes for doing melting point analyses out of one that's this long. I tried a couple of them, man. Yesterday I didn't have any problem, but of course because I want to film a video with this today, it was a great big pain in the ass. So I just settled for sealing one end of a long one. We are going to put it in here like so. Take a look at that. See how it's getting down in there? I hope. Zoom in a little bit here. See, we're just going to keep, well, I don't know. Not really on the screen now, is it? God, I need a camera person. Okay, that's probably enough. Now, I'm going to wipe the outside of this off because I don't really want to get it on me. Not that I haven't been doing that already, working with this stuff. It seems like it's more or less tame-ish, but still. Now we're going to tap this down into the sealed end without dropping it or breaking it. Yeah, that's one disadvantage of using a really long tube like this, is it's easy to break it during this step. Okay, so now you can see, I hope, focus, son of piece of shit. I said focus. There we go. It's all done there in the sealed end. Now comes the fun part. In order to do this properly, we are going to have to increase the temperature very slowly. So we're going to put it down here in the chamber where it's going to get heated. And since it is, there are actually 3 slots in there, which I will try to show you here in a second. Is that working? Awesome. Okay, so really hoping this is clearly showing up. You can see our sample is down here inside the chamber here. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but you can see there that black rectangle to the left of the sample. That's another slot. This particular melting point apparatus can hold 3 samples at one time. Really nice, like if I had a reference sample, like say from somewhere like Sigma or wherever, of known beta nitrostyrene that had a certificate of analysis and had been checked and we knew it was pure, I could put it in here as well as like a reference sample. That way it kind of eliminates any errors with your thermometer or anything else. If the reference sample that we know is very high purity, it melts at the same temperature as your stuff, you know for a fact that you're golden. In our case, I can't really afford to send this stuff off to a lab to be tested by like, LCMS or some shit like that. So we're just going to have to trust in our equipment and accept that, in the backyard lab, we're only going to be able to go so far with this shit, right? Now, what I was taught in school was that the rule of thumb is that you want to go up about 1 degree Celsius per minute. Which means, in a perfect world, since this fucker is at about 35 C right now, would take a while to get up to 58. However, we are going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to just put the dial on 1 there, which I know will get us up close to 50 C, and then from there we will increase it very slowly. Yes, I know, I'm a bad chemist. Also an impatient one. So, clearly I'm not even going to try to film an hour, almost an hour, trying to get this shit to work, so I will just come back when we have a result. Okay, people, I know it probably doesn't show up for shit on the camera, but the sample is completely melted here. I'll try to get a photograph of it where it's a little more clear. The melting point was between 56 and 58 degrees C, so that's probably about as close as this is going to get. So yeah, you can see just how much you can improve things by recrystallizing your stuff one more time. This is much, much better than yesterday. So now that I've gotten this out of the way, I feel good enough to go ahead and try this reduction, which I'm not really sure how this is supposed to work, but fuck it. Hey, we're going to give it a try. If it does work, it'll be pretty sweet, right? So I don't know. Here we go. So anyway, stay tuned for that, y'all, and I will see you later.